Yo, Xenoblade Chronicles X is back, baby. What's going on, everyone? Sight here, and today we are talking about the return of Xenoblade Chronicles X. This is crazy. For those of you who haven't heard the news, which is insane if you haven't, because everyone was talking about it, but this past Tuesday, October 29th, 2024, Nintendo shadow drops the biggest news out of nowhere. That Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition is coming to Nintendo Switch next year, March 20th, 2025. This is actually insane. Do you know how long I've been waiting for this? For almost a decade, us Xeno X fans have been hoping and praying for some type of sequel, Definitive Edition, anything to come out to Switch. And it's finally happened. This is a dream come true. Xenoblade Chronicles X is actually how I even got introduced to the Xenoblade series, way back in 2015 when it came out on the Wii U. I remember sitting in my college apartment, seeing that the first trailer came out, and completely being awestruck. Like, what am I looking at? An open world JRPG on the Wii U? I couldn't believe it, honestly, because having any type of open world game on Nintendo's console seems almost impossible back then, because everyone knows that Nintendo consoles are pretty much on the low end of specs compared to PlayStation and Xbox. But somehow, Monolith Soft worked some crazy magic to put a game as big as Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U and have it actually work smoothly. Well, to the best of abilities. Like, you do not get The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild without Xenoblade Chronicles X, because if you didn't know, Monolith Soft are the ones that help with the open world aspects of that game. So every Zelda fan should be grateful that Xenoblade Chronicles X paved the way for their game. Now let me say this. For those of you who never played Xenoblade Chronicles X before, this is not like your typical Xenoblade Chronicles game. It's not as strictly story driven as the number games are, and I say that X's strength comes from his world building and character quests. Like, the side quests and character quests are the real meat of this game. And if you go blasting through the main story before stopping to do any of the quests in New LA, or do any of the many recruitable character quests, you'll be missing out on a whole lot. And the great thing is that the side quests actually feel like they're progressing the world or have an effect on everyone around you. You're meeting new aliens, finding new locations, expanding New LA in a sense, and learning about the world of Mira all through side quests. And on the topic of the world of Mira, us fans are probably finally getting an answer to the biggest cliffhanger that Xeno fans have had to speculate for almost a decade now. If you never played X, then you have no idea what the ending scene means in the Definitive Edition trailer, where you see the guy lay on the beach and a hooded figure standing above him. That guy in the rope was not there in the original ending, so we're getting a brand new story in this version, which is so good. Plus, they said they'll actually be adding new story elements, and I can't wait. Plus, even better, look at the faces. Yo, I swear on the biggest critiques of this game was the faces, and everybody looked pretty off-putting. But look at them now. My girl Emma is looking good. Lynn's face is looking better now, especially because her eyes don't have those huge irises anymore, and they actually look normal now. I honestly cannot wait to see everyone's new faces in the game. Please, can I have this game right now? God, there is so much to love about this game if you just let yourself be completely immersed in the world. Because oh boy, is this world massive. This game will have a hold on you, because you'll be wanting to explore everything from the plains of Primordia to the forests of Noctilum, all the way to the desert of Oblivia. Like, this world is so much fun to just explore and find new locations and the breathtaking scenery that you see. No shade, but Pokemon, let Monolith Soft help work on future games, please. We cannot have Pokemon keep looking the same way it looks on the same console as Xenoblade Chronicles games. Hell, Dragon Quest XI, Monster Hunter Stories 2, and Breath of the Wild series all look better than Pokemon on the Switch. They're already comparing Scarlet and Violet to X over on Twitter. Like, it ain't looking good when a game that came out in 2015 looks better than a game that was developed for 2025, 2024, and all that stuff. But anyway, this game is really an exploration game. Like, the game wants you to just run around exploring everything it has to offer to you. And once you get your scales, the mechs that you can pilot, that opens up the world even more. You'll reach places that you couldn't reach before and discover even more things that seem impossible to get to. But Sight, That all sounds great, but how does it play? What's the mechanics? Is it like 1, 2, and 3? Well, how I describe it is X gameplay is that it feels like an MMO, really. You create your character and you can progress throughout the story, building up your character and all this stuff. And you're exploring like the 5 different regions of Mira and help building up Frontier Nav, the computer system that gathers data on the surrounding area where you place your data pros at. The game has classes and divisions that you can freely choose from and can swap out as you please. You start out as a drifter when you first start the game, but later on you can become a striker who uses long swords and assault rifles, or a commando who uses dual wielding both guns and swords. You can learn each class and then even mix together your melee and range to fit the playstyle of your own choice. When I was playing, I started out playing just the dual wielding class, and later I switched over to Galactic Knight, who uses beam sabers. But I wasn't a fan of the Psycho Launcher, so I put an assault rifle instead of that, and because I finished the duelist class, I unlock all the assault rifle arts and skills to mix in with the Galactic Knight skills that I have. The game allows you to play the characters that you want to play, and I think that's a great strong point to have, allowing you to have multiple playstyles to try out from. On top of classes to choose from, you have different divisions that you can join in the game. Blade has 8 divisions, each one has a different mission to help New LA survive on this mysterious planet. And as a Blade yourself, it's your duty to join one and help the cause. You have curators who go out and to unexplored territories and bring back samples of anything they get their hands on, like fruits, bugs, whatever. Harriers who go out and defeat dangerous monsters. Interceptors who act more like bodyguards and protection for the New LA citizens. Think of it as if the Harriers are the swords and the Interceptors are the shields of New LA. You have mediators who handle problems between citizens, outfitters who make all the weapons and scales Blade uses, pathfinders who go out and put down data probes to gain more info on the planet, prospectors who go out and collect resources like water, food, minerals, and lastly reclaimers whose mission is to recover parts of the White Whale, the ship that the last remaining Earthlings used to escape Earth when it was attacked, and find a life hope. The fun thing about joining a division is that you have specific tasks that will give you a division points that goes towards your Blade level. And the higher your Blade level becomes, it unlocks more basic missions, unlocks more customization features to your Blade barracks, and increases your field skills that in turn let you access more treasure boxes and Frontier Nav sites. And each division has their own tasks that caters to them specifically. So I joined the Harrier because I like the combat and wanted to fight monsters. Well, as I defeat monsters, I'm gaining points toward my Blade level. But let's say you like exploring more. Well, as a Pathfinder, you'll get division points with each new probe you place and each new location you discover. On top of division points, each division has a support system, like Harriers will increase your melee arts, the Interceptors will increase your range arts, the Reclaimers will make it so you receive more items from any drops, etc. Each division has their own support system to help you as you explore and fight, adding another layer of how you want to build your character. Speaking of characters, you'll be in a 4-man party that consists of any other recruitable characters or even other player characters as you take on missions in the game. Outside of the story, of course, will you be part of Team Elma and any character quests that require characters for that specific quest. You'll be able to choose any character you want for any mission. And I really do like most of the characters in the game and learning about their past and how they're adjusting to living on this strange planet. Like, one of the recruitable characters can go from a jerk to a more tolerable jerk if you play all their affinity missions. And each character has their own affinity mission that you can do to help you learn more about them, and some of them don't even unlock unless you do other side quests or someone else's affinity mission first. So it's pretty much telling you to, like, hey, play some of these side quests that you probably don't want to do. There's also these little heart-to-heart moments that appear throughout the city that you have your character have a little one-on-one conversation with other characters, depending on certain conditions like the time of day or what kind of press you have in the barracks. So it's pretty nice to just have the little one-on-one conversations and affinity missions to help you learn more about these characters as you're playing this game. And speaking of side quests, there is a bunch of them. And I'm sure if you ask any Xenoblade Chronicles X fan, they will tell you that the side quests are the core of the game, really. Some of you have their own arcs that I was surprised to find out on my first playthrough. I just thought somewhere like there was like 101 and done. But nope, here's part 2 and here's part 3. I was like, the main story is interesting, but I kind of want to see what's going on over here with so-and-so and what's happening over there with so-and-so. It really makes you feel like a part of this ever-changing city and world, and makes you want to know so much more about things that you probably wouldn't care about if you only tackle the main story. Moving on to combat of X. And if you're at least familiar with other Xenoblade Chronicle games, then you should be able to get used to X's combat. It still has the same auto combat system where you and the party are attacking on their own while you're manually activating the different arts that you have equipped. Arts are the special abilities you have in battle, and they can range from attacking arts to auras, which are the abilities that buff you and your allies. And then you have your debuffs that affect your enemies, lowering their own stats or applying damage or time effects like burns. Another thing you will be hearing a lot while in battle are these soul voices. These are like callouts that a party member will shout out while in combat. If you do a certain action that corresponds with what they say, you'll get a boost in AP or TP. Like Alma will say, lay down some cover fire, and you would respond with a range art. Outside of soul voices, you also have these quick time events that'll show up, prompt you press B when the ring gets close to the center, so be ready for that when it pops up. There are some other stuff like positional bonuses that affect how much damage you do when you face a certain direction, like the rear, front, or sides. Enemies will also have different body parts or sections that can be specifically target and destroy, which in turn will make them weaker and also get you more loot with each part destroyed. And then you have overcharging arcs, where if an art is ready to be used, you can wait a little bit and then a second bar will fill up, overcharging it. And each art has a different bonus when it comes to overcharging, like some will attack multiple times or some will get a boost in strength. Really up to you to decide when to use a skill or when to overcharge it. Now let's talk about skills, the mechs that you use in the game. I remember getting my first scale, and man, if I thought the world of Mirror was huge already, a scale will make it seem even bigger. You'll be flying across the whole map and seeing things you've never seen before and take on bigger monsters that you couldn't take on when you was on foot. Fighting Titan classes and getting rare rewards so you can go and craft higher gear is pretty much a fun gameplay loop once you get the feel of it. Also, the scales come with insurance, so you only get so many times to wreck it for free before you have to dip into your own pockets to fix them. So be mindful when you're out there fighting tyrants and end up breaking your scales. And speaking of crafting, if you ever thought about Xenoblade Chronicles X being an MMO, then this will make it feel like an MMO. As you're out there exploring, your data pros are collecting resources that you can use to upgrade the different arms manufacturers that start up in the city. Each one has their own style when it comes to armor and weapons, so you can choose which one you want to prioritize first, and then which one you will get your upgrades versions of the gear that you've been working on first. And yes, you can dress up every recruitable character in the game in any gear you like. Well, gender specific gear, but yeah, which is cool because it also shows up in the cutscenes as well, which is a thing I really enjoy. I spent a lot of hours dressing up these characters up in specific mission attires, and it's nice that the cutscenes don't default to them having their base outfits on like some games will do. You know how you have a certain way they look in combat versus how they look in the story. But another strong point of this game is the music, bruh. The music in this game is nothing but bangers. Sawano Hiroyuki, the composer who made the soundtracks for animes like Attack on Titan, 86, Solo Leveling, Kill la Kill, Gundam Unicorn, and a bunch of other animes as well. The man is a legend. So we're probably getting new tracks for the new story segments of the Definitive Edition, and I will be popping off like how I was first hearing the music in 2015. The music is so well crafted for every portion of the game and really fits the survival theme that X is going for. On top of that, the different regions all have such unique sounding music to fit their environments, and even more so, different tracks for the time of day. Like, what? One thing I do hope though is in this upgrade version is that they add a volume slider for music, voices, and cutscenes. Because in the original, I'm not quite sure they had it, and sometimes the music will be a little bit louder than I would have liked to when trying to listen to the character speak during cutscenes. So I do hope they add some sliders so we can adjust the different volumes to our liking. And honestly, I think that's all I can say about this game before diving into any spoilers. So I'll stop here for now. But man, it's just a crazy time we're in. Because this past summer, I had emulated X onto my PC because I wanted to replay the game after so long. Because I figured that Nintendo looked like they were just planning on letting this game die on the Wii U. So I was like, let me just put this game on my computer in case the Wii U ever stopped working. Another funny coincidence is that I ordered a disc plate, those little metal posters of Xenoblade Chronicles X this past summer as well, because I wanted to have some type of merchandise for the game. And to see this announcement a few months later is still blowing my mind. I really cannot wait for this game to come out. I can't wait for you guys to play this game when it comes out, if you never played the game before. If you are a Xenoblade fan, this is a game that you should be looking forward to. As long as you have an open mind going into this game, you'll have a blast. So enough of my ramblings. Are you excited for Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition? Let me know in the comments below, and while you're down there, let me know what kind of Blade division you're looking for to join when you first play. Also, if you like this type of discussions, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos like these. Please leave me a like on your way down in the comments, and I'll see you all in another video. Peace!